One of 1,000 ways to prep a science unit by the good and the beautiful. The Marine Biology unit is a free PDF download on their website for levels K through 8 and meant to be taught family style. I've already printed my unit out. I've already put the teacher manual together in sheet protectors, separated with tabs per lesson. And I'm about to start cutting out all the cutouts and laminating some sheets for sorting mats and mini books and assembling everything here for student workbooks. So I have finished cutting out and laminating everything that I wanted to do. Any cutouts, vocabulary words. There's tons of puzzles, cutouts, things to do. And so my binder is a little thick, but that is because I put all my cutouts back in the binder. They will come back out onto our science trifold once we start building it and going through the units. The mini books, I'm going to store a teacher copy in here. I'm just going to staple my copy so that it lays flat. I'm going to bind the student copies. The student copies I actually laminated, and I'm going to put in one thick flip book so they can just flip to the correct mini book to save, since my littles are little, I did go ahead and laminate every page because we plan to reuse all of these. I have my student manuals as well. I'm going to go ahead and bind with the medium spine so they have all their worksheets and even some visuals I reprinted from the teacher manual so they can all look and ooh and ah themselves. And so I'm going to get to binding. So I have finished the student little booklets, work booklets with the mini spiral, and now I'm about to show you how to use the binding machine with a larger packet. So the easiest would be the student packet. You just put it face down. It can only handle so many pages. And this being laminated with 5mm, I went ahead and just did it alone. And as for a back cover, I'm using the table of contents so the kids can see what we're learning next. And I laminated it for the back cover, and I am having it face out so they can see it in the back side all the time. So once you have your holes lined up, you start the coil. You can turn on the machine and see if it'll help you. And once you're ready to crimp the coil, have the spine towards you with the red dot facing up. Flip it over to do the other side. And then it won't fall out anymore. On my last booklet here, I switch from letter size by untwisting this and moving it back all the way for the laminated covers to make sure the holes line up a little bit better. The hardest part is making sure the holes are all lined up in order to start your spiral. And I just do a couple so that when I can turn it around, never fails, I'll have to fix the alignment. I can turn it on and line it up with the roller. There we go. All done. My last little tip is to do the spines on the mini books on the sides, especially if you're going to do a massive student book like this with them all combined. I knew this, I just forgot, went into autopilot for a second by watching someone else's video to not do the spine on the top, because in some pages, more so in others, you will punch through the top line verbiage and you won't be able to read what that says. So I stopped myself in time, but to not do the spine on top, do it on the side. And then for us, when we're done with one mini book, this spiral spine will allow us to flip them all around and just keep the mini book with the next mini book on top. So we'll just keep going round and round until we get through them all. So there we have it, the completed marine biology unit from The Good and the Beautiful, fully prepped in a 3-ring binder. This is just a 1-inch I had left over from something else, and it's even just a circle bind. It's not even a D-ring, so it is a little bulky for this binder in particular, but that is specifically because I have stored all of my cutouts inside where they go in the lesson so I don't forget. Along with vocabulary words and mini books for the teachers edition. That's just stapled, so I know I'm going to be careful with this one. And once all my cutouts are taken out and put it on our science trifold display board, this will fit nicely and much thinner. Not that it's that bad to begin with. We have our student workbooks with all of the student pages. Some people just use folders, but my kids are little, so I added a lot of the visual pages so they don't all have to try to climb or lean over each other's heads and look at just mine. So I put a couple more visuals along with the student workbooks in their pages. I did do the student mini book all combined so that when they have this copy in their hands, they can look with each other. It's all laminated, so they aren't going to ruin it, and I can just read from my teacher copy mini books. And finally, the mini workbooks for the invertebrate booklets. That's just paper. I thought about stapling them, but again, my kids are really little, so I think it'll just be easier for them to have the open flat while they color or write in or cut and paste, whatever we're going to do for that lesson.